Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 23rd of March. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Pearce.
And Gary, who would think that we'd have this much energy to be this bouncy, this pumped up after the weekend of weekends? Round of applause to Melbourne, round of applause to Sydney and Brisbane and probably Perth.
What about Adelaide? Don't forget
Adelaide,
and those Tasmanians
Darwin, Launceston, Canberra.
Hobart.
Because the market right round this nation is unifying as one, Gary, to go forward in unison in delivering greater prices for every seller out there in the marketplace, Gary. It's extraordinary what's going on.
Well, you're rambling, but fair enough, and I'm glad that you perked up because I think on Sunday night you would have been a little bit exhausted, Phil, a couple of nights ago. But you have fired up after a very busy and big weekend of auctions, Phil. Lots of bids, lots of bidders. I haven't added up all the bids. There would have been over 100 bidders on the weekend, I think, over our auctions comfortably because there were so many auctions. I did, Philip, 5 bidders, 6 bidders, 4 bidders, 5 bidders. It was crazy stuff.
Game on
in a big way.
Just about every auction, Gary.
Well, you know what? I just want to say this, Phil. I'm going to stop you for a second because, you know, we grew up at a time where people made a lot of money out of property, Phil. And I remember, you know, through when we opened our business in the 80s, which was a long time ago, but I remember before that, Phil, that people said, how do people make so much money in property? How come the people own investments in apartments and blocks of flats and what happened? And I remember being explained to by a very wise business person, Philip, in fact my mother, who said, look, son, sit down there and listen to me. So I did.
She burst into song. Sit down, son, and take a seat.
No, this is not a musical.
And I will give you a lesson in life.
You're just making this up.
That's from Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, so she said,
did she do it?
She said, sit down there, son, on that chair, that chair, and let me tell you something. She said that in the 60s,
let me tell you a story.
In the 50s and 60s, or people, all they needed was a deposit, that sacred deposit, Phil. And then when you bought a property, the interest rates were low, not like in the 80s when they were 16, 17, 18%, when we were all stuck with our bottoms hanging out with big debt, Phil.
The recession that we had to have.
Shout
out, Paul.
And because I asked her at that time,
Keating.
I said, Mother, please explain to me. She said, look,
Mother, oh mother.
No, don't start again. No, don't. It's just not. People, you know, when you go,
like a musical.
But when you watch back
story.
and you look at all the diagnostics, you just see the number of people watching just drop off. And she said, once you've got the deposit, you buy something, and then basically the tenant pays it off, or at least pays most of it off, or some of it off, or you make a small contribution, and then you buy another property, and that's how wealth's created. Unfortunately, it never really worked in our family, Phil, but that's how, and I think this is a time, Phil, that people will look back, mark my words, we're going to go and, you know, when we get to episode number 3000 in a couple of years' time, we're going to go back and look at episode number 436 or whatever number this is and say, that Gary Pearce, he knew some stuff.
Okay, so viewers, I'm just going to add very quickly to the story.
I think it's been done to death now.
Because it was true that in the 50s and 60s, interest rates were a lot lower, like they are today. So for the first time in our career, we're now starting to see property that is almost 100% geared either revenue neutral
or positive
cash flow. So we haven't seen that. We didn't see that since the 1960s.
No, haven't seen that in our lives.
But one of the things that your dear mother probably failed to say.
Don't you go knocking my mother.
No, this is not knocking your mother.
She
at
liked
all.
you, you know.
But that generation, there's a moth. Did you open your wallet then, Gary?
I've never seen that before.
Well, we've never seen you open your wallet before.
There you go.
Anyway,
that's a bit of a sign, Phil. You're saying something about my mother. Bang, a moth comes in.
One of the things.
Go on.
One of the things that your mother didn't say, and this is Tim Gurner from Gurner, who is one of Australia's premier developers, who was slammed on social media a couple of years ago for having criticism of the avocado on toast generation. Okay. So, if you think about your dear mother, right? Your dear mother.
She never ate avocado on toast.
No, she was a frugal person, as so many of that generation were.
Yes, they were.
So they didn't drive too expensive cars. They didn't have 3 holidays a year.
You didn't have one.
You didn't walk through the house and see a flat screen television on every wall, mainly because they hadn't been invented. But ultimately, your house, as I remember it, was a one television house.
And it wasn't on very often.
It was also a one bathroom house.
It was, Phil.
So all of the things, life has changed. We are a far more materialistic society. We're a far bigger
spoiled.
We're consumers. Consumers today,
Yeah.
Gary. So my hypothesis here is that people have re-engineered their priorities into living better and saving less. So it is actually quite possible to accumulate real estate if you have a normal income, not a high income or a low income, a normal income, if you just adopt a more frugal approach to life. Not that I'm advocating it, but that is the way to accumulate assets. There's no gain, Gary, without some degree of pain.
But this is not the generation of sacrifice. People want it all. They want it now.
Oh, those young people.
Want it all.
Those young people today, Gary.
They want it all.
They can't have.
They want it now.
They can't have some.
They're impatient.
They can't have some Kellogg's cornflakes whilst reading the packet at the kitchen table. They can't put toast in a toaster themselves. No, they've got to go and sit in a cafe and order their lattes. Exactly right. Not normal latte either. It's got to be a decaf, soy, vegan latte. That's right. And then they've got to have the avocado and toast. They get up from the table, $25 or $30 later, multiply that by 5 times per week.
That's a house.
You too can buy property, young people.
A couple of houses just in that, I reckon, Phil. Anyway, we're rambling on a little bit.
But they've got to have a life, Gary. They've got to have a life.
Everybody
would say that.
It's the now generation that we're talking about, Phil. The ones that, and I think if you read the James report yesterday, they said that people don't want to renovate, they don't want to wait. And I think this is one of, I know we're rambling a bit, but it's relevant. One of the messages of COVID, Phil, and this is why, this is a link to the market today, is people want it now. They want to move, they want to progress.
They want it now.
They want it right now. And they're an impatient generation anyway. Do you think people said that about our generation when we were growing up? They said, that Philip and Gary are there.
If you're watching GPTV this episode, and we're actually giving you quite a lot of information here today, but if you are watching...
Not necessarily interesting
and
information.
you are a really good musician, would you send your name into ideas@garypeer.com.au? We'd love to have you on the show because I think we can introduce a little bit of singing to the show, Gary.
Bit of
just
variety.
Like that beautiful show that won the Oscars. What was the movie that won the Oscars?
No idea what you're talking about.
The movie where it was all in song.
Oh, yes, LA Story.
Was it LA Stories? I love that.
Was it LA Story or something like that? Yeah.
Anyway, it was a beautiful
Someone
show.
will remember, let us know.
If you're a great musician, come on to the show. Also, just at the start, I'd just like to say a shout out to Josh. Josh and Talia were one of our bidders on the weekend that did miss out. And I just want to say they were fabulous at one of our auctions.
Oh, were they?
And just lovely, lovely people. So shout out to them.
They're not the same Josh that had a little child lately, are they?
Not for a while, no.
No, fair enough. So we had our first ever auction on the weekend, which never happened in our career.
We had our first ever auction on the weekend.
No, let me continue.
Oh, right.
You're very impatient. But we had our first ever auction on the weekend where the vendor didn't turn up. We've never had that before. An elderly vendor, we were worried about his health.
If you are selling a house with us, we'd like you to attend the auction. Or at least let us know.
It's not asking too much.
At least let us know where you are, maybe FaceTime or a phone call. Courier pigeon last choice, but ultimately we would like to be in contact with you on the day.
Anyway, we did find the vendor. It was a bit of an awkward one. Jeremy Rosen said to me, what are we going to do here?
Where'd you find the vendor?
So, we literally called hospitals and the police to find the vendor. Yeah, fair income.
Seriously?
I'm not joking.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Anyway, we found the vendor at the end, and then he said, "Oh, okay, I missed it, did I?" Yes, you did. Oh, well, what do you want me to do? Well, maybe you'd like to sign the contract. Oh, okay. So anyway, it was sold afterwards. All's well that ends well, Phil. But funny, every time we come to GPTV, there's something new to tell you about, something new we're experiencing. Let's get back to business, Phil, because we've got business to discuss and to cover over.
Gary.
There's lots to talk about. Some of our auctions, some of our things that didn't sell. Hey, how about this? Hey, Phil, how about this for a buy? Atherton Road, I'm just going to get the actual address here, 604 at number 89 Atherton Road, Oakley, Phil. Now this was in a beautiful new building. Great development by the Pelicanos, who do a great job, Philip.
They do.
It was bought,
very
this
established property family in Melbourne.
This apartment's interesting. It was bought for, if you want a screaming buy, and I wouldn't mind having someone screaming now. Can we get some screaming? Because I think I like that. I like that. Screaming buy. This was bought.
We've got a Hey Phil episode. We've got What's Your Beef? And now we've got a Screaming Good Buy.
And we've got a How Good Is That? I think Screaming Buy. We should have a symbol and we should have a scream. How about this for Screaming Buy? This property was bought off the plan for $710,000, I believe.
Yes.
It's for sale right now for $599,000. First in buys it.
Wow.
With all the stamp duty saving that you get as a first home buyer, and a great apartment, 604 at 89 Atherton Road. I just thought I'd throw that in there, Phil, because I see value. I can't resist wanting to tell people about it. Phil, 13 Royal Parade. Well, what a thumping auction that was. An interesting market story, Phil. Got to talk about this because it was bought 2 years ago for $2,006,000. We thought we might get that and a little bit more. Lo and behold, Phil sold at auction under the skillful guidance of auctioneer Jeremy Rosens, who handled the sale as well with Daniel Mickmaker, sold for $2,520,000.
Okay, let's stop.
That's 20%.
Pull it up right now because that is viewers, you really don't see many properties bought and sold within a 2 year period.
I think it was 2017. I think.
Okay, so let's call it 3. Don't see much.
2017 was a good market.
You don't see much
strong,
of that.
mate.
So the market did peak in 2017. So we can use the $2 million as the market peak.
It's a bit of a twin peak story.
18, 19, 20, but there's a 20% increase.
Yeah.
That's
unchanged.
That is a great market story.
It's a litmus test,
so
Phil.
that people can actually see in real time. Because there's a lot of people that watch the show, Gary, and they go, "Oh yeah, I know. If I buy a property and hold it for 20 years, it'll double or triple in value." And that doesn't mean a lot to younger people. But when you can show them, "Hey, you could have bought that property
that impatient
for
generation.
$2 million and made
20%.
$500,000.
Yeah. Not bad.
Don't call it 20%.
Why
Gary.
not? I
Call
want
it
to.
$500,000.
Oh, you call it $500,000. I'll call
It's
it 20%.
actually 25%.
No, it's not. It's 20%.
$500,000
On top.
on $2 million, Gary, is 25%.
Okay, all right, you got me on that one.
And lowest VCE score in 1980,
Okay.
second lowest, but clearly killed it.
Yeah, killed me on that one. Anyway, you're right. It's 25%. That is a big gain.
That's a massive
4
gain.
years, isn't it?
Massive.
Phil, and same thing in Aisling Street. This is just looking what's going on.
And actually, think about this, Gary, because not only did they make $500,000 on that property,
but they lived somewhere rent-free.
very happily
I thought
during that time.
Not ever after, though, because they've sold now, Phil.
Okay.
And they're going to live somewhere else.
Right.
And look, Aisling Street, Brighton, Phil, another one. I think this was sold at maybe 18 months ago, or sold for like sold for I think $850 or something like that. Anyway, $935 went up 10% exactly, and well done to the vendors of that. 5 at 100 because they're people that are friendly with our company. Well done to Joel Sir. 5 at 109 Aisling Street. Hey Phil, 15. Filbert, that went off, didn't it?
It did, Gary.
Went off, not like a port in the sun, but like a rocket ship to the moon.
We had 3 really good bidders on that, and that went well.
1,670 sold for, Phil.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
disclosed,
yeah.
it's out there. Carrawena Road, well, that was a humdinger, thumper of an auction. And look, people think that we know what's going on. We don't always know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen at auction. It's like my racehorse trainer says, "Oh, yours is going to go well." It comes last. They say, "Don't expect anything for it." It bolts in, Phil. It's sort of, that's the only thing I can really say.
So are you
It's
basically
similar.
saying between the two analogies of properties going well over reserve and your horse, you're bringing that together and saying, we don't know anything?
I'm pretty
no
much,
one knows
and neither does
anything.
a trainer
You know
know
what?
anything
I
either,
actually believe no one knows anything
About
anything.
anything. I agree with that.
You know, if you think about the GFC, for example, right? So we've got the biggest brains in the world.
Geniuses.
Did they call it? No, not one person called it.
No one knows what's going on.
You have a look at this pandemic, Gary, that we're just hopefully on the edge of. Really, there's only one person in the entire world that predicted this, which was Bill Gates. But everybody else, all of these geniuses, all of these people that know everything, all of these scientists, not one of them.
So the conclusion basically is
no one
knows.
I think that's
no
the
one
headline for this week's
No
GPT.
one knows nothing.
No one knows anything about anything.
Yeah, fair enough. That's great. Anyway, that's going to make everyone feel good about tuning in.
No one knows anything about anything.
We've concluded that. Aren't you happy you tuned into the show this week? Anyway, 23 Carrawena Road, Phil. We thought we might get high ones, and the reserve, in fact, was in the high ones, Phil. Sold for $2,430,000 with frenetic bidding, Phil, for multiple parties.
Amazing result.
And well done to the vendors, well done to the
Lovely
buyer.
people,
What a
too.
great
Lovely
place.
people.
Yep.
Lovely
Yeah,
people. They
indeed.
deserved an incredible
Good
result,
luck to them.
and they certainly got one.
Phil, I was a little bit confused and stunned. The auction at 1 at 10 to 12 Rosalie Street, and I'm sort of asking this question.
What question are you asking?
The question
What's
is,
the question?
The question is, do ridiculous bids throw people off their game? Because
So that's the question.
Do ridiculous bids throw
competitors
off
or
the game?
people off the game?
Yeah, because this auction's going along. I think there was 7 bidders for it, Philip.
Yep.
And it was a very, very popular auction. Anyway, it gets to. I think
Can I ask
reserve-
you something? I've just bought you 6 really
I thought
nice
you might have noticed
suits.
that. Look, I was in a rush this morning. Hannah said on the way out, "That's not the best suit." I said, "No, I'll get away with
Look at the
it."
sleeves. Look, viewers, have a look at this. Right? Look at that.
I'm at peace with it. I'm happy with it. That's all right. You're making them look
for the
silly.
head of one of Melbourne, if not Australia's premier real estate companies. You dressed like a clown.
Phil, let's move on to Rosalie Street, and there's nothing wrong with clowns. Like, some of them are very skillful,
no,
clever.
Clowns are creepy and scary.
I've got some. There's a fear of clowns.
There
What's
is.
it called?
There's clownophobia.
No, it's not clownophobia. It's something else.
It is.
It's not
Clownophobia.
No, it's not. It's some other name. We're going to find it. We're going to put it on the screen. It's a great name too. It's some sort of phobia of clowns. Anyway, but obviously you don't have it because you come to work with me every day. Phil, Rosalie Street's going along in thousands and whatever. Anyway, there's a bid of $1,273,000.
Yeah.
And this bidder was bidding strong, and then this guy says, I think Daniel whispered in his ear the bid to suggest, and because we have our agents, with our buyers and whispering
of our buyers
in a COVID-safe,
in a non-creepy way,
and says, why don't you bid $1,277,777.77? Well, I didn't take the 77 cents, Philip, because I thought that would be crazy, but I took the $1,277,777, and the underbidder, who was going quite strong and quite in control, he just said, that's it.
Right.
I just think he just lost the plot. I think he was off to the therapist and he lost his mind.
You know what I get out of that, Gary?
Lovely person.
What I get out of that
sad story.
is you knocked back $1,277,777.77.
I didn't knock it back. I took
it. No, you didn't. You didn't take the 77
No, I didn't.
cents.
I wouldn't.
So if the vendor of that property is watching, as far as I'm
vendor's
concerned,
delighted.
As far as I'm concerned, the vendor can be as delighted as they want, but you left money on the table.
Is that right?
There's another 77 cents.
Well, why don't you send it to them today and make it feel better, Mr. Big Shot?
I believe we owe that vendor the 77 cents.
Anyway, the point of the story is the underbidder Philip was just he was so cool, and it was like, in Austin Powers, where all of a sudden smoke starts coming out of their ears and their heads explode. Those women that corner him, that's what it was like.
Well, I think just so that you understand that there is skill and care involved in this operation of auctions. Quite clearly, the buyer was out because great auctioneers, of which you are one, would have ensured that there was nothing left on the table.
There was nothing left. But anyway,
so it's not like the bid put them off, Gary.
No,
it was the fact that they were well over their limit. Yep. They had nothing left in the tank.
Anyway, well done to the buyer who bid $1,277,777.
Don't paint us in a particularly good
and
light.
77 cents, which I left in their pocket. Oh, you're right. Hey, is it boasting time for some of these awards, or we'll save it for another? Oh, we'll save it for another time. Yeah, it's not that. But we've won some awards.
But you know what?
Yeah, no big deal.
It's all about you.
Exactly right. Okay, we'll boast another time. Phil, 28 auctions over 15 suburbs. That's pretty big. And pretty exciting, isn't it? 28 auctions over 15 suburbs coming up this weekend, but we're not waiting for this weekend, Phil, because we are going to be at 76.
28 auctions coming up this weekend.
Yeah,
wow.
And you're going to be busy. We're whipping you hard all the way until Easter. But you know what? The week after this, you can have the weekend off.
The Easter weekend off?
Yep, have it off. Have Saturday and Sunday off.
Lovely.
You don't have to do any auctions. But Phil, how about Alexander Street? This little beautiful with the mysterious garden and the magnificent facade. That's going to go for auction on Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'm looking forward to being there with you.
Yes, Gary, I might come to that.
Some fun. Well, you're the auctioneer, I hope so. Phil, anyway, beautiful home. We've talked about it before, but classic, stunning, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. Right in the heart of it, Phil. You can go and get those sorted out because we're going to be at Hartington Street at 6:30 on Wednesday. Leo Samuel has the auction
I'm just loving the fact that these midweek auctions are still a thing, and it'll be a challenge during the depths of winter to keep them going, Gary, but I think we should try because they've added excitement to the business, a new buzz to the business. Hartington Street, of course, is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 2 car spaces, Gary.
Anyway, Hartington Street, Phil, we talked about. Ripley Grove, believe it or not, it's going up on Thursday. We love it.
That joke. 610 square metres of land. What a great opportunity for developers and homeowners alike. And David Thompson from our Carnegie and Murrumbeena operation will be fronting that show.
That's on Thursday, Phil, unless just a little bit more than 24 hours later in the morning on Saturday at 9:30 a.m, Phil. No less. He's going to be auctioning Kingsley Parade. Carnegie is an early morning person.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 undercover carport with lots of wraparound land, or at least a back garden there. That's the sort of thing everybody's chasing at the moment. We're having so much success with these single-storey villas, Gary. I love them.
They are pumping, aren't they, Phil? And well done, by the way, to Graham Callan, who's also an early morning auctioneer at 10 a.m. on Saturday in Charles Street, Glen Iris.
Well, Gary, 677 square metres of the primest of prime Glen Iris land, together with a very comfortable house. That property can go either way, of course. Beautiful house forever, your forever house, or a parcel of land.
You're going to have to move up a bit faster than this, Phil. In Parnell Street at 10:30 in Alston Wick. You're going to be auctioning this terrific property. We've featured it before.
Gary, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage. That's got everything that opens and shuts. It's luxurious, and it's brand new. No one's lived in it before.
I'm going to wrap up the auction in Milton Street because I'm the auctioneer, and I've been there and had a look at it. It's fantastic. There's 2 parking spaces, a huge courtyard, an oversized apartment in an established block in Milton Street, Elwood. Michael Jonas looking forward to being the agent that puts the soul sticker up after I auction for him. In Dandenong Road, Philip, we're going to be there at 10:30 as well.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Check out the renovations of this apartment. It is stunning with a really big kitchen, living, dining area. Love that.
4 auctions, Philip, on Saturday at 11:30, 555, 1555 Malvern Road, Glen Iris, Jeremy Rosen's auctions. It's a beauty.
But for the grace of God go I, Gary, 1555 to 1559. The building's called Grace, and what a gorgeous looking building it is. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and a courtyard garden.
We're in 15 suburbs on the weekend, Philip.
So you
most
keep
of them on
saying,
Saturday. One at 109 Chadston Road, Malvern East is Leor's auction.
Yes, Gary. Well, he's going to love doing that. This great family home on plenty of land, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, including a lock-up garage. Love it.
Hodder Street, Phil, is going to be your 11:30 auction. Take us through it.
Gary, I'm living the dream in Hodder Street. 3 bedrooms or possible 4, 3.5 bathrooms, no less. And of course, a lock-up garage. You've got to love that. That is stunning from the front door to the back fence.
Philip, I'm going to be auctioning Punt Road, South Yarra. I did auction this apartment once before. There was a good story about it because it's on the top floor, so it's got beautiful privacy and beautiful views. But you know, the vendor was downstairs in the park.
Yep.
I had to run down the flights of stairs, get back up. I was puffed out by the time I was due the auction.
About 400 times.
Yep.
I could
It's
say
a good
that
way, isn't
one. I could say that one with my eyes closed
Yep.
and not even moving my lips. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space.
We'll go and
Great
do that.
location.
Show me how you do that.
Great.
Close your eyes and don't move
Now
your
we've
lips.
moved on, Gary.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah, big represent, Mr. Big Talker over here.
Mr. Big Shot.
Anyway, 4 auctions at 12:30. We're going to have one in Pelling Road, and it is going to be a compelling auction, Philip. Leo Samuel is the auctioneer.
Gary, home number 1 at number 10, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Gorgeous back area, fully decked. I like a fully decked back
We
area.
all like that, Phil. Our auctioneers in Carnegie are busy. 3 of them
They
we've
are,
got, Philip,
Gary.
Leo,
They're
Graham and
working-
David.
we're working them
We're
hard.
working them hard, and Graham's going to be doing his next auction of the day in Woorale
Well,
Street.
Gary, quick show of the balcony there. Look at the view. It's incredible. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. What a great building. Be part of the Carnegie groove from there.
I've got a 12:30 auction in Brighton East, like Roy Rogers. I'll be on my horse going to Rogers Avenue, Phil.
Yes, Gary, beautiful home. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. A secure basement car space.
You'll be springing into 12:30 auction action in Spring Road, Phil. Great looking property with Joel Sir there.
I love Spring Road. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a car space, of course, and plenty of land, both front and back. So that's a humdinger.
No, there will be no Hill Street Blues for us, Phil. We sell so much in Hill Street, and we've got this one coming up as well at 1:30 p.m.
And,
although I think it's sold.
what a great team they are at our new projects division. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, but stay tuned. It may not be available. So check with the sales team of Julian Millman, Jacob Kingston and Lisa Alberts, because that may not hit the market.
Phil, 234 North Road, Brighton East is Jeremy Rosen's auction.
And what a lucky guy he is, because this house is stunning with the most incredible modern extension. Shout out to the vendors there who've done the most superb job. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. A stunning house in every conceivable way.
Phil, a touch of royal influence on Saturday. We like a bit of royalty, and haven't they been in trouble a bit, the Royals of late?
Yes.
But in 1:30, we're going to be in Prince Edward Avenue
Yes.
in McKinnon. Phil, Leo Samuel auctions that.
Shout out to the Queen.
Yeah.
She seems to go.
She's got her hands full, hasn't she?
She seems to go from one crisis to another.
yeah.
But I suppose if you're going to be the king or the queen, that's pretty much comes with the territory, doesn't it?
Well, Mel Brooks said it's good to be the king, but not always for everyone.
You can't take that position. You can't have all of those houses and castles and boats and planes. You can't have those things to stick on your head, whether
the
it's
jewellery,
the crown
the
or
jewellery,
the tiara.
the cars,
You can't have
the corgis,
corgis and racehorses. You can't have all of that
no hassles.
and think it just comes with no strings attached.
There's got to be a price to pay for all
But
that joy.
a shout out to Meghan and Harry and Oprah for that explosive, hard-hitting interview where I was shocked with some of the revelations. I was shocked, shocked and somewhat disappointed in the way that royal family goes about its business behind closed doors.
I've got to say, I thought there are people with bigger problems than Megan's problems at the moment, but never mind, Phil. I'm sure she'll get through it. Our thoughts are with her. Phil, we've wrapped it up, haven't we? We've talked about the property in Prince Edward Avenue. Let's go to Saturn.
Oh, no, Gary, that's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms,
Thank you.
and some fantastic parking facilities there in the basement. 2 car spaces.
Do you reckon there's any chance that because it's got Prince now, it's going to be a bit less desirable? People are saying, "Oh, I think I'll stay away from the princes and the queens and the kings."
It's a great address.
Yeah, good on. 1:30, Philip. We're going to be off the planet in Saturn Street, Caulfield South. You get to auction this property.
Gary,
Lucky you.
4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. It is magnificent. Even if you don't want to buy it, just come to the auction, have a coffee from our coffee vans and enjoy the splendour of that property.
And buy it anyway. Phil, 481 Armadale Street, this fantastic 1-bedroom apartment is being auctioned at $2,000. I'm looking forward to that.
Love
Yalaba
that, love
Road.
that, love that.
Lovely location there.
Just by the way, viewers, just around the corner from that apartment is a place called Juliet Bakery,
I've got to try that.
which has the best custard-filled donuts, I don't mind saying. I love them, very Italian style.
And you don't mind eating either. Phil, Bialaba Road, Caulfield South is your 230 auction. A good
Yes,
address?
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. Love the spot, love the home, love the vendors.
And Glenn Bricker is the sales agent, and as he would say, I can't believe what a great place it is. Let's move on to Atkins Street, Murrumbina, Philip, at 2:30. Graham again.
Love the home and appreciate the land, Gary. We've got 638 square metres of land, but, really good, comfortable home. So a shout out to that whole area. I'm loving Murrumbina. I'm loving it. It's my go-to suburb for 2021.
Things are erupting in Foam Street also at 2:30. Phil, David Thompson auctions this terrific apartment.
Yes, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, Gary. Got to love that.
Triple auction action at 3:30. Butte Street. It is a Butte home.
Butte, a darling deco and an immense block, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking, and land ahoy. So much land there, so much to love.
Phil, back in Rosalie Street again on this time Saturday afternoon. You're going to be across the road.
Gary,
for the auction I just did.
I love this development. It always goes well, and that is everything that you want in one of those homes. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage. Plenty of garden area, wrap around, and beautiful, ready to move straight into and get going.
Heavens to Dickens, Phil, we've got a great property going at 3:30 in Elwood, haven't we?
Parisian apartment by the bay, no less, Gary. Whoever's doing the auction should arrive in a beret holding a baguette.
Yep.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and it's an extra large, stunning apartment
I think you
throughout.
should conduct the auction in French as well, Phil, if you're going to be authentic about it. You're going to wrap up a very busy Saturday, Phil, and we are auction free on Sunday, of course, but a busy Saturday at 4:30 in Parnell Street, Phil.
Yes, Gary, beautiful home, single story with a turntable, Gary, so you can drive into your garage, reverse, press the button, the car swings around, you never have to do a difficult turn.
Love a good turntable. Phil, that's a bit of a wrap on all of our auctions for the weekend. Got a couple of properties to talk about. One of them is just a great block of land at number 22 Hudson Street.
Yes, Gary, love that street. We know that street very well because it's one of our first purchases ever.
Yes.
As a combined entity, we bought there in Hudson Street. This is number 22 with a 15.24 metre frontage, 650 square metres of north-facing land. Best side of the street to buy on, but as I always say, unless I'm selling, on the other side of the street. And then, of course, we've got number 15 Olive Street.
Yes, owned by a very well-known and respected real estate agent, principal of a real estate company for many years, Philip. We won't say who, but great
4
house.
bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage. Neat as a pin inside, Gary. Neat as a pin.
We're looking forward to that one, Phil. Nice parcel of land too. Also with a north-facing back garden close to the park. That is a big wrap on GPTV. So much to talk about, so much going on in the marketplace as we get into the nitty-gritty of March. Phil,
Been a very long episode, Gary. I think we need to wrap this up. Don't worry about the rain, viewers.
Okay.
Don't worry about the heat or the cold or the rain or the snow or the hails. Just make sure you focus on getting yourself a great piece of real estate because the market's going up. People are making money by just owning things, so jump on board. And failing that, just nestle in for next week's GPTV when we bring you all of the sales action because we love it and we love the fact that you're still watching after all of these years. I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week and enjoy the rest of your life.
I'm Gary Peer. Bye for now.